97.3 The Rock invites you into The Listening Room with Tom Drake.
Brought to you by Evologic, Dubuque area's premier control systems integrator, and the Whiskey on University, where great times get together. Tom Drake with another session of The Listening Room. My band tonight is Surrender the Fall. They were formed back in 2005 out of Memphis, Tennessee, and I am joined by Jared Cole, the lead singer of Surrender the Fall. Now, Jared, what's your guys' origin story?
Well, we all kind of came together as victims of circumstance, or maybe victims the wrong word. Maybe I should use the word as, I guess.
Just circumstance, I would say.
Blessed
just what
by
happened.
circumstance, I guess you could say. Reason being, my guitar player, Eddie, came from New Orleans, and a product of Katrina. He lost everything in Hurricane Katrina. And they told him about the project. He's like, man, it sounds cool, but my whole family's here. My life's here. He's just like, man, I'm rebuilding everything. I can't, get up and move as much as I'd love to. Fast forward a week or two later, and my guys that were in the band at the time went back to New Orleans to go pick up a couple pieces of gear. And Eddie met him out there to kind of hang out with him for a couple of hours, help him out, see him off and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And popped in the demo and said, here's the stuff that we're going to be doing. We got done listening to it. And they said, what do you think? He said, I'll be there in a week. And sure enough, he showed up, and he's been here ever since. Our drummer, Rick, he came in 8 months ago, I guess. Mm-hmm. And we'd known Rick from a couple of other bands. He went on to do other projects, as musicians do. And we met up with him in St. Pete one night. We were on tour with iEmpire and Nonpoint. Mm-hmm. And Bart started to fly, and everything was cool. And, we kind of broed up again, and then ended up in a position where we needed another drummer. And we called Rick, and Rick was all about it, and kind of thought that whole instance right there was what spawned the result of him being in the band. So he thinks it was written in the stars. We'll let him think that, right? No. No, I did too, though. Anthony, my guitar player, had a really bad football accident in high school. He tore his MCL, ACL, and PTL all in one play. And if you ever see him, he's got the scars to prove it. He's pretty proud of it, so just ask him to see it. But he was pretty much told that he wasn't going to have a sports career anymore. He was captain of his football team, and he just picked up his guitar and said, I'm going to do this. And he still hadn't been in the band at that point. I had a member, a guitar player, just up and quit on me. He left, and the first person I thought about was Anthony, and I knew he worked at Guitar Center where I used to work. So I got on the phone. I didn't have Anthony's number, and I called him. Because we had talked previously in a drunken stupor at some bar in Memphis about, if we ever do a side project, whatever, I'm a guitar player. I'm like, cool. So I called Guitar Center. And if you've ever called Guitar Center, they have that whole spiel. They called Guitar Center. This is blah, blah, blah. How can I help? Well, it was Anthony. Picked up the phone out of everybody in Guitar Center. So I'm like, you're exactly the person I wanted to talk to. And I was like, I almost don't even want to ask you the question because I already know what you're going to say, judging by the fact that you're the one that answered the phone, and I think that's the way it was supposed to be. But yeah, I talked to him, and we had 2 or 3 shows out of town that weekend. At that point, we were just doing Weekend Warrior stuff. Mm-hmm. He came in, learned the whole set, performed it, did a great job. I mean, everything worked out. He was actually going to audition for another band. When I asked him, he had to call our friend Devin Hightower, which is now our bass player. Mm-hmm. He had to call him and say, hey, man, I'm sorry, I can't come audition for your band. Surrender the Fall just called me, and Devin's like, dude, you should do it. Go for it. And then not long after, we brought Devin into the fold, and we needed a bass player. And that's the way it's been. I think we definitely got the core of this band, and the people have a lot of heart, blood, sweat, and tears in it. And that's our story.
Yeah, you guys are kind of like a Phoenix story. A lot of stuff is happening kind of out of the fire.
I was just about to say that's exactly what the band name means. The truth of the matter is that we sat down and we wrote out everything that popped in our head on a piece of paper. That second, it really didn't have a full-blown meaning. We kind of had to sleep on it for a while, and the reason that it felt good. We applied it to things that we were going through in our own lives, and the meaning of it is completely giving up and surrendering the option to fail. If you go into something and there's no option to fail, then all you can do is succeed. You just don't give up. And that's what we live by. Call it gravity or whatever it is, but if you can't fall down, the only way to go is up, so you might as well put your eyes on the prize and go for it. That's what Surrender the Fall means.
That's awesome, man. Now let's get into our first tune on this listening room session. Here's Surrender the Fall off Burn in the Spotlight. It's Love Hate Masquerade on 97.3 The Rock. 97.3 The Rock, Surrender the Fall there with Love Hate Masquerade. I'm Tom Drake, still hanging out with Jared Cole, the lead singer for Surrender the Fall. We're chatting about the album Burn in the Spotlight. There really isn't a song on it I don't find myself, really getting into. You listen to it in your car and you can't help but swerve into another lane because you're headbanging.
Yeah.
But what was the writing process for Burn in the Spotlight?
Well, it's true what they say, that you have your whole life to write your first record and then maybe 3 months to write your second one. But it's funny, we used to be really metalcore, and there's still a lot of influence in that, but there's so much influence in our music. I think we got to the point to where I would always write these songs, and I would sit there and we'd hang out with Eddie. I slept on Eddie's couch for the longest time. And Eddie would just be like, man, those are great songs. I love that song, but it was so slow. It might have been a love song, or it might have been something really low-key. Whatever it was acoustic and me. Mm-hmm. So we just eventually got to the point to where we're like, okay, we got to go in with a lot of material if we're going to really do this. And finally, we just looked at each other and we're like, well, let's just take this stack of notebooks with songs that would never be Surrender the Fall, because that's what we would always say. Go through them and just try to make these songs, the best that they can be. And just literally focus on writing a good song, whether it's, got a country feel to it, or it's got a rock feel or metal feel, whatever. Just write a good song. And I think that's what translates. Everything that we tried to do is write a good song and try to be honest. The material that we wrote about, it's my life. It's my life up until that point. Someone told me a long time ago, the best songs you'll ever write are the ones that you don't want anybody else to read. And I took that really seriously, and I said, okay, if I'm going to open myself up this much, I might as well go all the way with it and really tell the truth. We could sit down over a couple of drinks, and I'll tell you instance by instance every single word on that record, and I'll give you the number to call to verify that it's true. It's honest, and I think that's why the people that are down with STF have gravitated towards it, because it's real. It's honest. not over fabrication of some kind of BS or anything like that. Like, it's genuine, authentic, that you can take that to the bank. That's really our writing process, and that'll continue to be our writing process.
Now, that actually runs into my next question. I was going to ask you, what has been the most influential thing on your music? Obviously, with what you've just said, life lessons is a big thing. But when it comes to the style of playing music, stuff like that, other musicians, your family, what was the most influential on the way you put this album together?
God, man, that's the hardest question to ever answer. I can tell you our musical backgrounds and influences. I'm a huge Aerosmith fan. All the greats, Johnny, Elvis. We're big Elvis fans, even for being from Memphis. It's cliche as hell, but it's true. We love Elvis. Prince, Metallica, U2, Guns N' Roses. I don't say this a whole lot in interviews, but I'm a huge Richard Marx fan. I think that guy is a songwriting genius, regardless of how stupid his hair looked. Those are the influences. As far as the music, man, it's kind of weird. We like taking the meat and potatoes of the music and just the basic core of it and really finding out how it moves us physically. Well, we wanted to take that further and go, what's it going to do? Like, how's it going to move me? How's it going to make me perform on stage? How's it going to move people that hear it, you know? We wanted this music to cause a natural reaction.
Oh, right, yeah. The sweat, the love, the aggression, everything.
Oh, absolutely.
And with that, let's get back into the next tune from Bird in the Spotlight. Here's Some Kind of Perfect. It's Surrender the Fall in the Listening Room on 97.3 The Rock.
Doesn't matter anyway. I don't wanna know your reasons why you're changing your seasons now, and you're forced to let go somehow. At least I smiled when you broke me down. Never choked on the truth, I still choke on your words somehow. All you ever wanted to be was some kind of perfect. Follow my dreams, you were falling apart. Ripped out the seams, another story, a static start. All you ever wanted to be was some kind of perfect. Did you sober up enough? Did your feelings fade away? Did it promise you a life, one that left you so stranded I just couldn't stand it? Did it piss you off enough when I learned to walk away? Did it hollow you inside when I said everything I had to say? I smiled when you broke me down. Never choked on the truth, I still choke on your words somehow. All you ever wanted to be was some kind of perfect. Follow my dreams, you were falling apart. Ripped out the seams, another story, a static start. All you ever wanted to be was some kind of perfect. It's too late to fall
You're in the listening room with Tom Drake on 97.3 The Rock.